Hello traders, welcome to my channel Freedomwithforex. My name is Al. I'm a mentor and a senior trader at Elitecapital. In this video, I'll be doing a weekly forecast from 17th to 22nd of August. I believe a lot of opportunities coming up this week. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon as I post 3 videos per week on Forex trading. The next video will be on a Wednesday where I will be doing midweek Forex market analysis, so don't miss out. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Before you get started, if you missed my last video, which was on last week's trading result, where I have made $400 despite I had 10 losing trade, link in the description. Okay, so the first trading pair I have in front of me is Euro New Zealand. So this trading pair, I've been waiting for the sale last couple of days, but seems like market is still strong. Buyers are very strong. So for me, in order to sell this market, I have to wait probably a couple of more days, but I'm watching this market on 4-hour chart as well. If I see a strong rejection on a 4-hour chart, I'll be entering this trade. Until then, I just have to wait for it. So the Frank Yen is the next pair I have in front of me. So I sold this Frank Yen about an hour ago. So since then it's 3.2 pips in profit. Hopefully this market will rally down all the way to 336 pips. My stop loss is sitting at the moment 62 pips. So it's a nice risk versus reward. So let's see what happens. If the market actually closes below on daily tomorrow around this area, this market is going down. Very good chance. Next one is Euro New Zealand. As you can see, I lost 2 trades last week. I sold Euro Yen, I sold it here and I got stopped out, and I sold again on 4-hour chart, I got stopped out. So and then I entered again after this 4-hour candle movement. Since the market going against me, I'm on 18 pips loss. However, if I look at the hourly chart, market is actually slowing down. Market is actually slowing down. As you can see, each movement is taking the bias getting weaker and taking a bigger retrace. So however, on daily chart, last Friday market closed as you can see, is a kind of dodgy looking candle. So if the market closed below here, which is Friday's candle, then there's a good chance market will reverse back. But if it continues to go up, I'll probably get stop out, which in that case I'll be losing 82 pips. This was aggressive trade. This may not suit everybody, but for me, I'm kind of used to, and this is my style of trading, so I'm not too concerned about it. However, if the market goes in my direction, I'm looking into to bank 580 something pips from this pair. We'll see what happened. Next, Aussie CAD. I don't have a trade open on this pair, but I had a 2 trade open last week. I think I made first trade I made about 145 pips, and the second trade I made not much, about 28 pips. And then the second trade, after the market is still running going up, in terms of daily candle formation, it is a bullish engulfing candle, which is a typical sign of going up. However, if I look at the hourly chart, market's actually coming to 100 SMA, so there is a good chance market will keep going down. I have put a sell limit on, what level is it, 95467, around that level. If the market goes up around this area and I see strong rejection on the hourly candle, I will enter this market. I'm still bearish on this Aussie CAD. Okay, next one is Aussie Yen. All right, Aussie Yen, I'm on loss 19 pips. This trade open was last week. This morning on 4-hour chart, market is crawling up, so there is a good chance I'll get probably stop out and I'll probably be losing 70 pips. However, if market were to turn around, the reason I actually sold was there a couple of reasons I mentioned on my last week video. because of this candle on rejection on daily chart, and on this candle rejection on daily chart again. However, market is as I said, keep calling up. So if this market were to turn around, I'm looking into 400 to 500 pips movement. So I'm risking about 70 pips to make about 500 pips, which is pretty okay. And as you can see, market is rallied up on daily chart from that point to about 1700 pips. Big movement. So I wouldn't be surprised if market retraced by 400 to 500 pips. If that were to happen, be sure that market will come around this here if market get rejection this place. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Euro Australian dollar plus 82 pips in profit. However, at one point I was 100 plus pips in profit. Seems like this market is retracing. I put my trailing stop on 20 pips in profit, just in case if the market reverse. The reason being is that on daily chart 200 SMA the market came close to, and then on Friday market formed that little doji candle, as you can see in the middle. So that could be a turning point. However, if this market closes above on Fridays above, market will probably rally up. So at this stage I have no risk because I'm on 20 pips in locked profit, and I did made a small profit last week. I believe it was, I opened here, one trade was closed up there 115, and other trade was closed on 83 pips, and then I partially closed this trade 0.05. So I did make a little bit of profit out of it. So at this stage this is a risk free. Next one is USD CAD. USD CAD looking pretty good so far, 30 pips in profit. I bought this market on Friday after this 4-hour candle formation. If these two were to continue, and especially tomorrow, if this closes above this daily Friday high, market has a good chance to come to 200 SMA, which is 280 or 300 pips away, or I'm looking into 500 pips movement. We'll see what happens. USD Yen. Okay, USD Yen looking not too good at the moment. Especially I entered a trade which was a kind of risky. I entered this trade on an hourly chart, but I made a good profit on my first trade. I opened at 105,678 area, and then I closed all the way up there, which was 120 pips in profit, and then I opened again. So at the moment I'm 19 pips at loss. However, my stop loss is sitting 40 pips. So if I get to stop out, overall I'm in profit because of the first trade. But if this were to continue this uptrend, which is being very strong, market is coming up here, there's no doubt, which is about 160 pips away. So I took 40 pips risk to make about 160 pips. We'll see what happened. Euro USD. All right, Euro USD. I had a 0.20 loss size. I closed 0.05, and then what I did, I put a trailing stop losses right below my entry, which is only 4 pips. Now market is very close to get stop out. I'll probably get stop out on my trading stop losses. However, I was hoping market to come around this area. If this market get rejection, good chance market will come here. But what is probably going to happen, this will probably stop me out and go up a little bit and then rally down. But if that to happen, if market goes up here on 4-hour chart, and if I see a rejection from the sellers, I'll probably enter again. We'll see what happens. At this stage, this trade will end up probably getting my trailing stop loss triggered. We'll see what happened. Aussie USD, similar situations. I put my trailing stop losses. If I can show you on hourly chart, look at that, how close this came. It didn't trigger my stop losses, but this, how many pips that it's on 4 pips trading stop losses, so I'll probably make a couple of bucks. $8. However, I did close 0.05 on last Friday, so I did a few dollars out of here. But this is the candle I was really banking on, this bearish engulfing candle. So what is more likely to happen, similar to the Euro USD, will probably stop me out or come around here and then start selling again. If that were to happen, I will sell it. I'll be watching this market next couple of hours very closely, and I'm looking into market to come around about 500 pips away. So we'll see what happens. New Zealand CAD. On New Zealand CAD, I had a 2 trading on last week. I made a pretty good profit. The first trading was, I sold it here, I closed 150 pips. Second trade, I opened here, I sold, and I closed all the way 217 pips. Nice 2 trade. And then since then market was retracing. I put a sell limit. I'm hoping market will retrace a little bit further so that I can enter again. On daily chart, I'm happy, I made a pretty good profit out of it. If this were to continue, I won't be chasing it. So otherwise, I'll just wait for retracement. I will re-enter. Until then, no trade. New Zealand USD. I just opened this trade, and since then it's gone down by 4 pips. I sold this market. The reason I sold this is that of this overall movement, especially on daily chart. This was a risky, but the risk was worthwhile. Reason being, my first trade I sold here, and then I closed right where the market is right now, and I made 128 pips. So I already banked a lot of pips out of it. Now my stop loss is sitting, I think, about, how many pips is that? Let's see, 72 pips and 72.9 pips. Okay, so, and I must take profit around 338. So it's well above my risk versus reward. So what happened is that if I were to actually wait for the bigger retrace, that actually may not ever happen. That's why I entered. However, if that were to happen, it take me out, I will be losing. But if I compare with my main trade that I closed last week, I will be in still profit. So this was risky, but at the same time it was a calculative risk. That's why I entered this trade. Pound Australian dollar, all right, 19 pips at losses. All right, I entered this trade last hour as well. The reason being, I've been hoping this market to come around 200 SMA, which is a lot of pips away, 700 plus pips away. And I took 127 pips risk to make 700 pips. Now I will probably get stop out. The reason I entered this trade was on hourly chart. It came to 200 SMA, and it was showing some sort of fight from the buyers. However, it's broke through, so good chance market will come here. However, if the market close below this low, this continue down and will stop me out. And if this actually get rejection in this area, good chance market will reverse back and continue its original direction, which is uptrend, and that's what I'm hoping for. Next one is pound CAD. Okay, I bought pound CAD, 43 pips in profit. This trade was open last week. In terms of take profit, is well above on daily support resistance, which is about 1,000 pips away. It looks insane at the moment, but I believe it will happen. But if before it does, it will create a lot of illusions, a lot of confusions for the trader, so that people can make mistakes and get stop out and whatnot. One thing I'm very cautious is that my stop losses is quite big at this stage, which is how many pips? Let's see. That's about obviously 400 pips, but it's actually not my stop losses. Trust me, I will have to adjust this, because there's no way I'm gonna risk 400 pips. My stop loss is basically below here. The reason I didn't put right there is the market can easily come down to 200 SMA into this area and keep going up. So I didn't want to get caught when the market dances around. So however, if the market closes below around this area, which is about 150-60 pips, I will close this trade. So please disregard these stop losses, because there's no way I'm gonna put 400 pips stop losses. That's just madness. You know what, in fact, let me just reduce right in front of you. I'm gonna just close my stop loss gap. How many pips that way? This is probably 180 or so. Let's see. It's not too bad. Oh no, it's about 160. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So 160 pips risk to make about 1,000 pips. Would be nice if that were to happen. Alright, pound yen. No trade. I bought this pound yen week before last week. I made a good trade. I think I made about, I opened there, I closed here, 360 plus pips. Since then I've been waiting for confirmation whether to see whether this continue or actually get reject and start to sell. So I have to see what happens. If I see a strong rejection on dailies, especially close around this area 138.70 50, I'll be thinking to sell. But I'm being cautious. The reason being is that a lot of my pound I am on bullish. However, yen was very weak last couple of days or even couple of weeks, and I think for yen there's a good chance that it might turn around. So I have to check correlation with all euro yen pair, and I have to make a decision based on that. So to sell this market right now, it is a risky, and I have to consider a lot of factors before making decisions. Pound New Zealand. All right, pound New Zealand still shooting up. As I said, don't sell until confirmation on daily. If I don't see a strong confirmation on daily, I'm not going to sell it. I made about 1500 pips out of pound New Zealand. If you missed that video, which was before last week, just quickly, if I can show you, I opened a trade here. As you can see, white arrow. I opened it here. I closed all the way up here. There was a 2 trade. Each was about 700 pips or so. So about 1500 pips I gained from this pound New Zealand. And then I actually sold here as well, which was in profit too, like a little small trade. And now I've been waiting for confirmation to the sell side, but I think it's gonna take quite a bit of time before anyone can sell this. My original prediction was when the market was here, I said market will probably come up here, which was about 1400 pips away, or at least 200 SMA, which broke through 200 SMA. And probably a lot of people say, when I make the prediction, when market was right below, when everybody is selling, see how strong market was selling, and I bought right there, and I said market will probably go up close to 200 SMA. A lot of people say that's insane. That's from there, if I can show it again, from there it was about 900 pips movement. Can you imagine predicting a 900 pips movement when everybody is selling? That's pretty insane, right? And not only I actually predicted, I entered myself. If you followed my videos over the last 3 weeks. I entered the trade, I opened in front of you and I closed in front of you. I made about 1,500 pips out of this one pair pound New Zealand. So it is possible to make, you know, thousands pip from one single pair. If you were to patient enough, you can actually capture that kind of movement. Okay, so at this stage I have no trade on pound New Zealand. Before I go to the next forex pairs, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. It means a lot to me. If you find this video helpful, why don't you subscribe now and turn the bell icon so you get to watch the next video first. This will help you to become a profitable trader. Alright, I sold euro pound. My take profit is still sitting around 281 pips. My stop loss is sitting 44 pips. There is a very good chance I'll probably get stop out. If I look at hourly chart, market is getting rejection here. We'll see what happens. If this were to get rejection on dailies, market is coming down here. If not, making a new lower low on daily. Pound franc, all right, minus 45 pips at loss. What is happening? What's happening here? Let's have a look on hourly. My stop losses at the moment 132 pips. Look, I'm pretty actually I'm pretty hopeful with this trade, even though I'm at loss. The reason being, if you look at the daily chart formation, sellers tried to actually close below, but they could not make a lower low. They could not make a lower low. It came to 200 SMA on 4 hourly chart. So basically all my simple moving average pointing up. Good chance market will keep shooting up. But if this were to go up, this market, I'm making another bold prediction like pound New Zealand, it will probably come up by another 900 pips, 800 to 900 pips. So that's what my take profit is. But before it happens, it will be a lot of, obviously it's not going to happen within a week. You got to need a lot of patience, as well as you got to filter out a lot of noise, especially when it comes to 200 SMA. It will probably get rejection before it should up again. So it is a matter of experience, a matter of time and patience before this kind of movement we see. But again, it can come down here, take my stop losses. So it is a calculative risk. I always try to risk not more than 150 pips or so, and try to make 500, 600 pips. And that gives you, end of the year, you will be always a winner. Next one is USD Frank. All right, this is the trade it's been a pain in my backside to be honest. As you can see, I was at loss 220 pips at one point, now 200 pips. I bought this here, it kept railing down. It's been a painful experience. However, I bought it here, I made a little bit of profit, and then started going down here. Now, what is the situations right now? This is what I'm going to do. If the 4-hour chart closes above all these little 4-hour candles, which means if I see a strong buy from the buyer side, I will enter on the bullish side, and my stop loss will be around here. Okay, but it's not ready yet. But this market, again, this is a downtrend. Buying here, it is risky, so be very cautious. What I'm trying to do here is that to make a small, to catch the small movement into this area. Seems like from here to here, this area, this is actually a market is on the sideways. So if I can catch a couple of movements on back and forth, that way I can actually do break even if this trade were to close below here. That's what I'm trying to do, break even. We'll see what happened next few days. Next few days I'll find out whether I actually end up losing this trade or break even. Pound USD, no trade at the moment. I'm not actually interested at all. I do not like this kind of candle formation. This will probably continue on the On the bullish side, we'll see what happened. USD Singapore dollar minus 40 pips at loss. Okay, what's going on here? Obviously I bought it here, as you can see. I was hoping this daily trend will be broken. Hasn't been broken yet. If I lose this trade, I'll probably lose by 93 pips, and then if I gain, I'm looking nice little 378 80 pips. What is the chance of losing this trade? I am banking on this candle formations right there. This was my buying signal, but this could end up in loss. We'll see what happened. But before it comes down here, excuse me, my tummy's been talking a lot this morning. I haven't eaten anything. 52 pips away from my stop losses. We'll see what happened. Euro Frank. All right, Euro Frank. Let's have a look on hourly first. Okay, so just in profit by 1 or 2 pips. So when you see a lot of rejections, either buy side and also from the sell side, markets usually follow the original direction, which is the buy, which is the bullish. This is what I am banking on. I'm gonna put a stop loss right now in front of you, right below this 200 SMA, which is probably how many pips away? Maybe it's not too bad, 63 pips or so. I'll probably adjust my stop losses, but on daily, let's have a look. My take profit is sitting 490 plus pips away. So is that a bold movement to say to have a 500 pips movement? Look, I think it is a insane way of thinking, but very good chance. And I'll tell you why. If this market closes above this high right here, if you close above here, this market is coming up here. Good chance. We'll see what happens. Aussie New Zealand is the last pair. I haven't got a trade on this one. This market is still shooting up. Am I going to sell this market now? Absolutely not. The reason being, look at the daily chart. Market is going to be coming probably around here, which I still believe about 200 pips away or so. However, if I see a rejection on daily, before I go to next pairs, I have an exciting opportunity for you. As you probably know, I have a mentoring program where I make someone who has none to little experience in forex trading to consistent profitable trader. This is a lifetime mentorship program, so you get to annoy me or harass me for life. But joke aside, if you need to learn from someone who walk the talk, not talk the talk, email me freedomwithforex@outlook.com. Okay, let's continue. I'll probably be thinking, but today no trade on this Aussie New Zealand. Okay, if you're still here, made to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. I appreciate your company. I enjoy making this video as much as you enjoy watching. I do hope you learn something out of it and apply to your trading. That's the main goal of this videos. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye for now.